Good day. I am excited to introduce to you one of our outstanding growers, Mich Botha from Sibanye View Landbou in Kiepersol, Mpumalanga. In this video, he shares how he's achieved exceptional quality through the guidance and resources that we've provided. His unsound has been low for a number of years, and this past season, it's been 0.6%. It's always inspiring to see how collaboration and best practices lead to such great results. Let's dive in and hear from him.
Thank you, Barry and Green Farm Nut Company, for the opportunity to talk about integrated pest management. This approach is working for me, and I would like to encourage other growers to do the same. Our integrated pest management approach is got a few basic main principles. We try to farm with nature instead of against it. A few years ago, we had quite a high stink bug damage. So we realized that if we don't improve our crackout, we won't be able to farm sustainable in the future. So we initially increased the number of sprays and the amount of chemical we use per season to get better results. But we also realized that sustainability is not only about being profitable this year, but about keeping the soil healthy in the long run. So that season we made some changes, got different spray equipment and went all out with spraying. We got good results, but we knew it was heavy on the environment and on the soil. So since then, every year we've been spraying less and using softer products. Until now, we are basically at the thiamethoxam drench and at most 3 sprays, compared to other farms in the area doing up to 10 sprays per season. Some blocks we are doing as little as 1 spray around January when the stink bug numbers peak. We do have some hot spots where we have to do a few more sprays, but then that's normally just a small area. Once you identify the hot spot with scouting, you can manage it. So far we've been reducing our unsound by approximately 1% every year. And this season our unsound was below 1%. We've been making small changes every season to reduce the amount of chemical we use in order to remain sustainable. One of the main sources of information and a place to get advice from was from Barry and his Green Farms Nut Company contacts, other farmers that he told me to give a call that he knew was also following this approach. I also saw the video that Wally Klaar made. So all these put together helped me to see that we are on the right path. In principle, I only start with stink bug control after or during the November drop. My theory is that we set 1,000 nuts and the tree is going to drop 500 nuts regardless. So the tree will drop any nut that is damaged at that stage. I do a thiamethoxam drench end of October, and then the active will be in the nut towards the middle of November. That gives me systemic control for November and December, and that's quite late if you want to do a follow-up drench, and you might run into withholding period problems at harvesting. So I would then only do a follow-up drench on the blocks that I know I will be harvesting last. During November drop time, I then start with intensive scouting to see what the pest pressure is. If it's relatively low, I won't spray yet, as you want to delay your first spray for the season as far as possible. Because once you do that spray, you kill all the beneficials as well. Scouting gives me information. Most importantly, it tells me when not to spray. Secondly, it tells me when to spray. And then thirdly, it tells me what to spray. We will go in the afternoon and set out shade netting under some trees. Early morning, we will go with a motorized knapsack and a chemical with a knockdown effect and spray those trees. We collect all the stations, take pictures for record, and then map it. We normally scout 2 or 3 mornings per week. That gives us enough information to make a call on whether to spray a certain area or not. I will then also only spray the areas where we found stink bugs. If we only get a few nymphs on scouting, we will use a soft biological product like Bavaria or Metarhizium. But if we find big numbers of adult 2-spot and yellow-edged stinkbugs, we know we need to use the bigger guns. Also, we don't just do an insurance spray before closing for the Christmas holiday. We scout and we see if it's necessary. Scouting also helps me to know when there was a problem with the application, or perhaps we had rain soon after spraying and we have to respray the area. I can then measure it instead of guessing. We spend a lot of time on scouting rather than spending a lot of time on spraying. And it's important that if we find, we often see big areas, half of the farm that doesn't have any bugs, and it just doesn't make sense to go and spray a 5-hectare block and you don't kill any stink bugs. If we see we've got a handful of predators and beneficial insects and we only have two or three stink bugs, then we won't spray, because we know the balance is fine in the block. So I'm using a 2,000-liter tank with handguns. The tank has got a frame on it, so the two operators sit on the frame above the tank. And then they are already closer to the tree tops where the bugs often hide. The advantage for me with handguns is I can apply the product exactly where I need it to be. I don't have losses through mist blowing away. I don't spray chemical on the grass in between the lines where all the beneficials live and breed. The tractor runs on a low RPM, just above idle, because you don't have a big fan to turn. I'm using only 3 liters of diesel to spray 1 hectare. My scouting and spraying team also have a bonus that they get paid if our stinkbug damage unsound is low. So if I get a better price because of low unsound, I share the success with them. I only spray if the scouts brings me stinkbugs. We spray mostly at night. The main reasons be that the humidity is normally higher at night, so your application stays wet on the tree for longer, thus giving you more contact time. The stinkbug is also quite aware of the spray rig moving towards it, and it will fly away into the bush during the heat of the day. Tomorrow it will just fly back and carry on feeding. Part of the approach is bringing in parasitic wasps, such as the Trisolcus and Telenomus for the stinkbug eggs, and the Trigogramma for the macadamia nut borer. That is a very important part of this approach, and you have to manage that well. You can't pay for and introduce these insects into the orchard and then next week kill them with a pesticide. We try to leave as much life as possible in the orchards. Most of the parasitic wasps feed on nectar and pollen. You always need to have food available for them to survive, and we try and supply them with food by planting basil and letting the blackjacks flower, and we want to see as much green, soft green growth in the orchards as possible. So scouting is probably the most important aspect of IPM. We base most of our decisions on our scouting results, and therefore your scouting has to be effective. Another very important part of pest management is your pruning. You've got to have open trees. If the trees are too dense, you will not get spray penetration into the tree, and you will just not hit the stink bug. So then we also alternate between chemical groups to make sure that we don't get resistance against certain chemical groups. We also make sure that when we spray, that the spray is effective. Go on holiday often and enough during the winter months so that you are not on the farm and you don't decide to just spray randomly.